If you're heading into a divorce and you're trying to plan out kind of what you need to have and what you need to know to be prepared when the time comes to file, essentially what you should be looking for depends on your specific situation. Some parties may not be as familiar with the financial aspect of their marriage. Maybe the other party is the person that has handled most of the financial stuff. If that's your situation, then you should probably do whatever you can to compile as much financial information as you can based off of what you know. If it's going to be more along the lines of, trying to prove that the other party has dissipated assets that you weren't aware of, then you should try to compile different credit card statements or bank statements. Whatever it is that is going to be at issue in your case, you should try to find the documents to support that. In Florida, as a part of the process, you go through what is called the discovery process. So Florida requires for the exchange of mandatory disclosures to take place between the parties as the case is pending. So some examples of that would be tax returns, last 3 years of tax returns, your bank statements for the last 12 months, credit card statements for the last 12 months, deeds, retirement statements, cryptocurrency if you have it, that sort of stuff. And the more that you have, the better off you are, the more prepared you are so that your attorney can actually go through and be able to prove whatever asset it is that you have to make sure that you get what you're entitled to. So when you're making the decision on choosing your attorney, there are many factors that you should take into consideration. One of those being, is that attorney going to be familiar with the court in your specific county? That's very important because the more that they know about that judge, the better prepared they're going to be if you end up in a litigation situation in your case. Another one would be, how experienced are they? Is this something that they do every single day, or is it something that they're just trying to do to get business in the door? If they know what they're doing, you'll be able to tell. So other things to take into consideration when you're choosing your attorney is, how well did you mesh with that attorney when you met them? You want to make sure that you felt like you were heard, that they were listening to you, that they understand your specific situation, and that they're going to do everything that they can to get the best outcome for you. So I think that it's a natural response for people to want to rush the process. People want to move on with their lives. They don't want to be in this state of what's going to happen next? Where am I going to be? What's happening with my finances? What am I going to be able to afford? So naturally that leads people to push to get it done as quickly as possible. But that's not always the smartest tactic to take. The best way to handle that would be to take your time, make sure that you have everything that you need to prove the case that gives you the best outcome. Even though we naturally want to rush the process along, you're better off taking your time, letting the attorney spend as much time as they need to really understand the specifics of your situation, so that way they're better prepared to represent you when the time comes. If you have questions about preparing for divorce, what you need to know, what financial documents that you may need, feel free to contact us at Cooper Cooper PA for a free consultation.